season is over. Champ season is here. And possibility hangs in the air. A title and a trip to the tournament is at stake. No matter your record, win, you're in.
Yes, he can.
March is here.
It's gonna be awesome.
And champ season begins now.
Welcome to the Hercules Tires Big West Men's Championship. As part of Champ Week presented by Principal. Just off the Las Vegas Strip in Henderson at the sparkling new Dollar Loan Center. The top seeds advancing in the championship game, longtime Southern California rivals. Cal State Fullerton trying to win it for the first time since 2018, and Long Beach State for the first time since 2012. The Beach last night, some drama. Jadon Jones wins it at the buzzer, and Long Beach State squeaks one out and breaks the hearts of the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos last night, who led for the majority of that game. But Long Beach State, the regular season champs, found a way to get to this championship game tonight against Cal State Fullerton, who took care of the Rainbow Warriors last night and really suffocated Hawaii. So it's Long Beach State, Cal State Fullerton meeting, trying to punch their ticket here tonight. Along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you. Somebody's ticket is going to get punched tonight.
That's the way it always is. It's March Madness Conference Championship. 40 minutes left in somebody's season. Some great matchups tonight.
Well, for Cal State Fullerton, they're going to try to go inside. E.J. Anisicki, the newcomer of the year in the Big West Conference.
The man, the legend, the myth, the walking double-double. He's the go-to guy for Cal State Fullerton. The Titans get him the ball in all kinds of situations, and he always delivers. He's a great one-on-one player, a ferocious rebounder. He can score from every angle on the floor, and he hit big shots yesterday to seal the win. They're going to go to him often and early and see if they can ride the big fella to a conference title and an NCAA bid.
Second to Big West in scoring, third in rebounding, showing you his versatility here last night in their win against Hawaii. Colin Slater on the other side, a career-high 30 to help the Beach get to this title tilt.
You are in for a treat tonight. The player of the year in the Big West Conference, simply unstoppable, can score from anywhere. He was having his way with the Gauchos last night, getting to the sweet spot on the floor, knocking down threes, layups, and transitions. He is a one-man wrecking crew. The ball will be in his hands tonight, and man, he is a talented point guard.
For the Big West Player of the Year, the Beach wearing the white, the orange for Cal State Fullerton. For the 123rd time, we're underway. Longtime rivals hooking up in this championship game here tonight, and it's a rivalry that has some animosity in it, which shouldn't be surprising. Latrell Wrightsell Jr. on the drive, and it's knocked free, picked up by Jadon Jones, the Big West Defensive Player of the Year. In transition, Jordan Roberts inside, Boubacar Traore. Here is Jadon Jones. He was too close to the basket.
Yeah, the game winner was about 8 feet beyond that. And you can see Long Beach State okay with the tempo. They're okay with the quick transition shot.
Deep three, Damari Milstead way off. He's had a great tournament for Cal State Fullerton. As Dan Munson, the coach of Long Beach State, winning the championship this year, his fourth time this year named Big West Coach of the Year, 15 years at the Beach, and trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the second time in his tenure, and for the first time in 10 years trying to get Long Beach State to the big dance.
Does such a great job every year with the talented players, and there's a pocket getting picked out front, but the Beach recover.
Highest scoring team in the Big West, Long Beach State averages 74 points per game. Here is Slater, a transfer from Tulane. Drives, a kick, shot clock about to expire, and an elbow jumper from Jordan Roberts to break the seal in the game's first points.
Roberts with some big plays last night. He's a one-on-one guy, plays inside. Normally he's finishing assists from guys on the penetration, but he had his one-on-one on display right there.
Open is Damari Milstead. Got it.
That's 2 air balls in a row. The only difference is one went straight through. Got to have that kind of confidence late in the season.
Abubakar Traore lost the ball, picked up by Jordan Roberts for the Beach. Joel Murray, the leading scorer in the Big West this year, struggled last night after a big game here in their win Thursday against Bakersfield, as Jordan Roberts again hitting for Long Beach State.
Roberts getting a taste of that high post jumper. E.J. Anosike absolutely cannot get in foul trouble, so he's got to give that up early in the opening minutes.
For the senior from Bakersfield, Roberts, who's played more games in a Long Beach State uniform than anybody, his 137th career game tonight. Here's Milstead. Off balance in the key, and he got it. Tough shot to Damari Milstead.
He's going to have to step up. That was a good possession defensively for Long Beach State. They doubled Anosike and played well out of the double team. And it was a last-second shot.
Here's Colin Slater. Challenge 3 as Torrey San Antonio closing out on him. And Dedrick Taylor telling me earlier today, that's the guy I'm going to try to shut down Slater with, is Torrey San Antonio.
Roxy, you talked about him being a glue guy, a journeyman, a guy who does the dirty work. There's nothing dirtier than guarding a Conference Player of the Year in a championship game.
Dedrick Taylor took Cal State Fullerton to the tournament when they won the Big West Championship in 2018. Lost in the title game to UC Irvine in 2019. 8th season at Fullerton. Former assistant for Herb Sendek at Arizona State. And a former player at UC Davis, a conference rival. Now, it wasn't back then. And a 3, too strong from Latrell Wrightsell Jr. And the rebound, Abubakar Traore, who had 23 rebounds in a game earlier this season against Riverside. Step back, Damari Milstead. And it falls off. Vincent Lee on the offensive glass, but he was on the end line. We're going the other way. It belongs to the Beach.
Good energy right now for the Titans on the offensive glass. You saw the steal from Anosike at half court. They're known for their defense. They are not going to make things easy for Long Beach State.
Long Beach State beat Bakersfield Thursday, and then UC Santa Barbara in that dramatic victory last night, where they only led for about 3.5 minutes of the game. They trailed by as many as 11 in that ball game last night. While Cal State Fullerton wins against UC Davis and Hawaii, as Damari Milstead the leading scorer in each of the first 2 tournament wins for the Titans. Joel Murray. And the long rebound chased down by Colin Slater for the Beach. Open is Jordan Roberts. And the long rebound, E.J. Anosike for Cal State Fullerton. Early 1-point lead for Cal State Fullerton. Here's Milstead. And Joel Murray grabs it. Here comes Long Beach State.
And the challenge for the Titans is going to be getting back in transition against a team like Long Beach State, who loves to shoot the quick open look. But more importantly, how do they get the ball to E.J. Anosike? Great steal right there for Long Beach State.
And Long Beach State did a great job last night as Jadon Jones missing a 3. Long rebound, Joel Murray, and he is fouled and won for the Big West leading scorer.
Boy, they keep coming, Roxy. I tell you, they shoot the quick 3, they get the rebound, take it right back to the 10. This is exactly what the Titans have to deal with. Long Beach State applying the pressure. Offensive rebound by the point guard, right back to the hoop for and one. Long Beach State in the lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com and discover exceptionally common sense. Championship game in the Big West in the top seed Long Beach State. 1-point lead on Cal State Fullerton. Just getting going in Henderson, Nevada. There's our officiating crew. It's Tommy Nunez talking to Michael Reed. And Opening sequence, Michael Reed seemed to injure his right calf, and he's talking to the athletic trainer from Long Beach State right now. We do have a standby official just in case Michael Reed can't continue. This was him during the break, talking to Mike Cyphers, our other referee. But Michael Irving is his standby, and he went to go stretch just in case he's needed. And Mike Reed is trying to stretch out that calf, and luckily, look, if hopefully Mike Reed is okay, but if he is not and he can't continue, but Michael Irving is here. We have quality officiating for this Big 12, or this Big West championship game.
Yeah, one of the top officials in the business, and I've always, as a player, felt like the great officials are the ones you don't even notice, but people don't understand how much they do run up and down the court alongside the players, and something like a calf injury definitely can make a difference. These officials travel a lot, they work a lot of games, and man, do they make trips up and down the floor.
You hope Mike Reed is okay. Michael Irving is ready to go just in case. He is the standby official coming out now to make sure that his colleague Mike Reed is okay. So there's our 4 officials. Hey, we could box everybody in. We went with 4. 4 sets of eyes are better than 3, right?
Not if you're playing, that's just more fouls. The guys, they were ready to go with just 2. And we could be a little physical, get away with some jersey grabs. But 4, oh my goodness, we'll never get out of here.
Mike Reed's tough, he's a gamer. Telling Dedrick Taylor, I'm good, I can play hurt. So the N1 for Joel Murray before the timeout, as the foul was on Vincent Lee of Cal State Fullerton. As Damari Milstead has all 5 points for the Titans. There is Murray, the leading scorer this season, averaging over 16 a game. First team all Big West. Struggled last night, just 3 for 15 from the field against UC Santa Barbara. Had just 7 points after a big game Thursday when he had 25 to lead the Beach against the Roadrunners from Bakersfield.
Well, you know, Roxy, it's going to be first things first for the Titans. Milstead's got to get it going. Wrightsell's got to get it going because you know Long Beach State is going to double team Anasinki, and you have to provide some scoring from your perimeter to offset that. So the sooner these guys get warm, the quicker they can get to him in the one-on-one.
On the drive, getting inside the lay-in from Jalen Harris for the Titans.
Beautiful left-hand finish. When they're playing your big man like that, you got a chance to get to the lane.
Big West 6th man of the year. Colin Slater launching 3.
And he gives a death stare to the Titan bench. Player of the year in total control. Dedrick Taylor letting the officials know. Wants to keep the sportsmanship. He's ready to fight. He knows this is a championship game. He's got to derail the conference player of the year. And there's a turnover.
Slater. 3 more, way out there.
He can talk the talk and walk it as well on full display right now. Colin Slater.
Well, he was feeling it last night, and it seems there's a carryover.
No question, you dropped 30. This is your floor. You come into this game with a supreme level of confidence, and there's another turnover by the Titans. These are 2 entirely different plays. This is just good basketball. Pump fake, fundamentals, up and over, knocks it down. This second one, this is insult to injury. This is just, I'm hot, I'm gonna jack it up, nothing but net. Slater, big-time offensive weapon.
And the crazy thing about his 30 points last night, he did not make a 3.
He got everything he needed off penetrations, pull-ups, and floaters. And you're right, he is a guy who can score anywhere on the floor, but most importantly, stays out of foul trouble so that he's available in the big moments.
5 to shoot over the head of Slater, and nice job by our friend Brian O'Connell down here from Westwood One work in the game.
Slater is a lot of things, but he is not 6'10". That was a horrible skip pass that he couldn't get to. There you see the numbers from yesterday. 11 of 18, didn't miss a free throw. When you're player of the year and you're the point guard and you're an upperclassman, it's a lot of responsibility to play well and come through, and he's done that.
Doubling E.J. Anasinki. We saw this last night Long Beach, the way they defended Amadou Sow from the Gauchos.
They've got to do a better job of getting Anasiki the ball on the move. And he's stationary. He's too easy to double team. Get him on the roll out of some picks, some curl plays.
Tipped out to Jordan Roberts. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Joel Murray. Jadon Jones, the offensive rebound. Murray again.
Rox, you can see a theme developing right now between the turnovers and the offensive rebounds. Long Beach State taking full advantage of the Titans' lack of focus, and they're going to get a timeout so they can get focused in this championship matchup.
3 straight threes and a 9-0 run for the Beach. 2 from Slater, then Joel Murray. Corey getting into the act.
Well, you know, offensive rebounds, we think of them as bonus possessions. You get it, you can go with it. Go ahead and put it up, young fella. Nothing but net. The Beach on a roll.
(15-7) Long Beach State. 3 straight threes, 9-0 run. And the Beach heating up. They didn't make threes last night, but Corey, they're falling early tonight.
They certainly are. We talk about momentum. You talk about coming out with tons of adrenaline. Long Beach State in attack mode, knocking down open shots, forcing turnovers, but this was the one that got the party started. The deep three, they're really feeling it right now, and they're getting offensive rebounds that are leading to these open looks. And right now, Roxy, the energy level, the Titans have to match the energy level. That's the only problem in the opening 8 minutes.
Now, they did make a 3 to win the game last night, but during the first 39 minutes and 39 seconds, they weren't making threes last night. But tonight, Long Beach State, and that's been an ongoing problem. There you see Michael Reed getting attended to. He's the referee's being attended to by the athletic training staff here. He's going to try to stay in the game and go. Michael Irving, our standby official, is ready to go in case he is needed. There is Michael Irving. But it's been an ongoing problem this year for Cal State Fullerton, Corey, defending the 3. As the Titans surrender 37% from outside the arc this year, they rank 335th in all of college basketball out of 358 teams in defending the 3.
And that's completely unacceptable when you look at the level of athletes they have. Guys get caught flat-footed. They don't rotate to shooters. Now, on the offensive end, they have no problem. They got tons of guys who love to score. But defense is a mind state. When you guys are playing 5-on-5, you got to rotate to shooters, be active. The possession isn't over until you get the rebound. And that team is way too talented to be giving up the 3 the way that they do.
So a little bit of an extended timeout is Mike Reed getting tape job on the ankle/calf area. And hopefully he is good to go. But a 15-7 lead for Long Beach State. I have to imagine this extended break, Corey, helps Dedrick Taylor and Cal State Fullerton, considering the energy that Long Beach State had heading into this timeout.
No question about it. You want to take all the intensity and energy out of this gym, slow this game down. The Titans are a half-court grinded team. They're a physical team. They play defense. They do not want this track meet. They don't want all this energy. They want to get into a slow-paced game, and this extended break gives him time to coach his guys up. We know how important this game is. Both teams wanting that conference title, wanting that NCAA tournament bid. Anytime you got a chance to slow down and take a run away from a team, you have to take that opportunity.
So the last time Long Beach State won the Big West was 2012 when they knocked off UC Santa Barbara. They were last in the title game in 2016, losing to Hawaii in Eran Ganot's first season, as the Rainbow Warriors that year went to the second round of the NCAA tournament, beating Cal, and then losing to Maryland as the Bows were bounced up in Spokane in the second round. But that was the last time Long Beach State was in the championship game. Well, Cal State Fullerton, last appearance in the title tilt for them was in Anaheim in 2019, losing to Russ Turner and UC Irvine.
Well, it's interesting to note we're at that 8-minute mark, and only 6 players for the Beach have touched the floor.
Trey Maddox Jr. a 3, and coming out of that extended break, Fullerton finds the hoop.
Boy, that is exactly what they needed. A big play to get some offense going. kind of quiet this crowd and get a little confidence back. But like I was saying earlier, the Beach only 6 deep so far through the opening minutes. They're the championship game, every possession counts, and you wonder how tight the coaches will keep the rotations.
Here comes Latrell Wrightsell Jr. Damari Milstead. Drop off, Vincent Lee. Drops it in.
Those are the type of plays that the Titans need to make. Take your time on offense, get a high percentage shot. Milstead, a guy who can score, but knows when to give it up.
Just saving it is Jordan Roberts from going out of bounds. Abubakar Traore poked away. And the arrow stays with the Beach and 9 on the shot clock.
Well, we know that Milstead has knocked down a couple of threes. The defender respecting his perimeter game, so you take him right to the 10. Pump fake, beautiful play. Get it to Lee, who's a guy who can finish those nice drop-off passes. Other guys have to step up. E.J. Anosike, you know what he brings to the table, but they've got to have a great supporting cast tonight.
Here's Slater. Fall away, rattles out. And fighting for the rebound, Romel Mansell, who rolled his ankle in the quarterfinal win, played just a handful of minutes last night, is on the floor right now for Dan Munson in Long Beach State.
I love his toughness. I know how hard it is to play with a rolled ankle. It's constantly painful. But in a situation like this, Mansell toughing it out, trying to give them what he can give them.
Second foul on Vincent Lee. Second team foul on Cal State Fullerton. Drew Cobb on the baseline, Jordan Roberts, and 1.
And that's what Jordan Roberts brings to the game. He started the game with his high post jumpers, and right there, sliding along the baseline, an explosive big who can attack the rim. This is what you do when your guards have the ball. Move without the ball. Beautiful cut, finishes into traffic.
Foul was on Trey Maddox Jr. Roberts, 73% from the line. And the rebound falls to E.J. Anosike. As Long Beach State last night was 14 for 15 from the line against UC Santa Barbara.
And despite all the big plays, the Titans only down 5 with the ball.
Foul by Drew Cobb on the drive. Second against Long Beach State.
I like the energy Trey Maddox is bringing to the game. He knocked down the big 3 right there, penetrating, going to the rim. Trying to let these guys know, hey, let's not just stand around and watch EJ. Let's try to make some stuff happen.
Got a mismatch inside. Now that Long Beach State corrects that and gets Jordan Roberts guarding E.J. Anosike, and a bump. Colin Slater coming over to help, called for the foul.
Yeah, and those are the possessions you actually saw just for a split second. They got to be quicker to recognize that. You got a situation where your best player, probably one of the best players in the league, is being guarded by a point guard. You've got to make them pay in those mismatch situations.
Off the inbound. Trey Maddox Jr. missing a 3, and the rebound Jordan Roberts for the Beach. Tough fadeaway. Joel Murray will get to the line, and Damari Milstead doesn't agree.
A couple nights ago, Murray torched the opponents for 25 and looking to get started here.
2 shots for Murray. Long Beach State up 5. They've led by as many as 8 already in this Big West championship game. Big West scoring leaders. As Murray, who was through the regular season, the leading scorer in the Big West, but slightly overtaken by E.J. Anosike. Then Amadou Sow, the 4-time All-Big West big man from UC Santa Barbara, right behind those two. Joel Murray 0 for 2 from the line.
That's very uncharacteristic of him. A guy who can create his own shot, he can get to the rim, he's got a step back.
Three on two as they break the press, but Torrey San Antonio will pull it out, and it goes off the hands and feet of Jalen Harris, and Long Beach State gets the ball back.
San Antonio probably making the better decision not to shoot the quick three, but got to make a better pass. Beach forced the turnover with the press.
Nice pass from Traore, and Joel Murray gets knocked down. And Murray is clutching his left leg as he's still on the floor. And 2 shots upcoming for Murray off a nice pass from the freshman from the Ivory Coast. First on E.J. Anosike. And Joel Murray, transfer from West Texas A&M, appears to be okay.
Yeah, right there, they banged shins pretty hard when he came to the jump stop. He reaches for it.
First team All-Big West, Joel Murray, who last year led West Texas A&M to the Division III National Championship game, was a D3 All-American, put up over 23 points per game last year. Got both.
You know, I'm just thinking, as a defender for the Titans, when you're guarding someone like Murray, you can't let him come to the ball and get a dribble handoff. So they set you up for the back door, and it's just a nightmare. You got to give him one or the other.
Off balance, falls off for Jalen Harris.
Big possession here for the Beach. Trying to push this to double figures.
And Murray throws up a poor shot, and it falls to E.J. Anosike. Jalen Harris. There is Jadon Jones for the rebound. Jones. And a foul going for the rebound. It's on Abubakar Traore of Long Beach State.
And Long Beach State has a little lead right now, but you can see they are not going to play conservatively. They're going to push the tempo and shoot open shots no matter when or what the scoreboard says.
Do you see more energy with Long Beach State than Cal State Fullerton right now? Is each team playing their 3rd game in as many days?
Absolutely. With Long Beach State, it looks like they're trying to deliver the knockout blow in the first half. They're shooting threes. They're trying to play to the crowd. And for Cal State Fullerton, they know this is a game that they can win if the tempo favors them. So they've got to figure out to either weather this storm and chip away or make some big plays of their own.
Milstead guarded by the Big West Defensive Player of the Year, Jadon Jones, who slaps the floor. And a hard fall, and Traore is down. He's guilty of the foul, and he landed hard on his back.
You know, nothing shows you how strong E.J. Anosike is other than a play like that. Great penetration. They drop it off, and look at the strength, the upper body strength. He gets everybody in the air, still gets the ball to the rim. And like you said, Rock, it's the defender who ends up getting hurt. E.J. Anosike walks away from that unscathed.
Dan Munson comes out with the Long Beach State athletic trainer to check on Abubakar Traore, the freshman from the Ivory Coast. Eight-point lead for Long Beach State in the Big West Championship matchup in Henderson, Nevada, in the suburbs of Las Vegas. And before we went to the timeout, Abubakar Traore, the freshman, who's 2nd in the Big West Conference in rebounding this year, and that hard fall, now he committed the foul in E.J. Anosike. There he is getting to his feet with the athletic trainer for the Beach, and Dan Munson also coming over, and he did walk off the floor under his own power there, heading back toward the locker room for further examination, but you're hoping everything is okay with Traore because that was a hard fall that he took. And he's a vital player for Dan Munson and Long Beach State. And while we have a moment, let's get to tonight's Need to Know, brought to you by Principal Financial Group. And you need to know this about this championship game here tonight. This is the first time they've met for the Big West Championship. However, they did meet in the PCAA Conference Tournament Championship game, 1978, won by Cal State Fullerton, as the Titans went to the Elite Eight last year, losing to Arkansas, but they beat Long Beach State in the old PCAA, which did eventually become the Big West. 2 shots for E.J. Anisicki. He is a 78% foul shooter, in the grad transfer from Tennessee, who played 3 years at Sacred Heart, where he was first team all NEC. The Big West newcomer of the year. He had just 8 points in the only regular season meeting between these two teams. And that matchup was won by Long Beach State at the Pyramid, and a foul committed by Fullerton. That was a 10-point win for Long Beach State. Back on February 8th, they were supposed to play on January 4th. However, that game was canceled because of COVID protocols. And the games in the Big West this year, the conference did not reschedule canceled games. So if the game was canceled, that was the end of it. You just lost the game.
And that's a brutal situation because home court advantage so important in the Big West, as most teams were nearly 500 on the road, all top 5 or 6 teams. That's kind of how they fared. So missing home games made a lot of difference.
Largest lead for Long Beach State, Colin Slater with 8.
Well, he's such a special player. And once again, the Titans struggle with the press and give up the turnover and the bucket.
10 for Joel Murray, and the lead is 11. And Fullerton not handling the pressure from Long Beach State.
Fullerton's having to play a different type of basketball game, and there's another turnover as he took an extra step on the pivot. They're having to play without their go-to guy getting any touches. The double team has affected E.J. Anisicki. He's only got 1 point. He hasn't attempted a field goal, and we're 7 minutes remaining in the first half. And the turnovers.
Why are they having so much difficulty getting it to Anisicki when they do get it into the front court?
Well, he's being too obvious. He's stationary. He's just in the paint. It's easy to guard a guy when he's on the block. The other 4 defenders can see him. Get him on the move. Bring him out in ball screens. Get him the ball going to the basket. He's one of the best players in the conference on the move. He's as strong as an ox, but if he's stationary, the double team will always be effective.
Jordan Roberts was out of bounds when he had it. Goes over to Cal State Fullerton, who's turned it over 7 times already. And they've gone without a field goal for over 4 minutes.
But right now, you got to beat this pressure, and you can't be afraid of the early shot. Long Beach is trying to tempt you into taking an early shot and get the tempo, but the Titans need some offensive power, and they need it soon.
Here's Damari Milstead. Double clutching in the lane. Loose ball grabbed by Milstead, who's fouled by Eddie Scott, the grad transfer from Penn.
Milstead being active. I thought there was a lot of contact on his first shot attempt.
Team foul number 6 on Long Beach State. Well-traveled Milstead. Started his college career at Grand Canyon. Then was at the University of San Francisco and grad transfer to Cal State Fullerton from USF. And that was a grown man move inside by E.J. Anisicki.
That's the perfect way to put it. You see what happens when he gets the ball one-on-one. It doesn't really matter who's down there. He's going to score. And they got him the ball late in the possession, and there was no chance for a double team.
Shot clock down to 5. Colin Slater. And the rebound tipped out of bounds by Latrell Wrightsell Jr. And it's a Long Beach State ball. And there'll be 20 on the shot clock. Latrell Wrightsell Jr. wanted the officials. He gave that replay signal, but he can't do it. Not now. Wait till the final 2 minutes of the game to ask for it.
Yeah, working the officials. You're not doing that, you're not trying.
Tommy Nunez has seen a lot of basketball. He's not falling for that.
No.
Colin Slater. 10 each for Murray and Slater.
But Slater is just so smooth. He picks his spots. Elevation over 2 defenders.
You know what's crazy? Even though he had 30 last night, he's not a selfish player.
No, he's not. He's very patient. He knows his job is to lead the team and get people involved. And there you see E.J. Anosike with the ball, surrounded by white jerseys.
Milstead crashes, offensive foul. The second on Damari Milstead.
Roxy, the only thing that's going to open up the offense for the Titans is perimeter shooting. Right here, you're going to see a penetration. Look at the white shirts. They're packing it in, daring them to shoot, and you've got to be aggressive. I like the penetration, but a little more player control. Make the assist, come to the jump stop. It's all fundamentals.
And even last night when Slater was going nuts like he was looking to pass, and a lot of times there was no option. He's like, okay, I'll just shoot it, and he was making it.
Yeah, he was the hero by default last night. In crunch time, had the ball in his hands, big moments, made big shots. Right now, he's on fire.
Colin Slater. Third three.
This is the danger of letting the Conference Player of the Year make his first 3 or 4 buckets. Now he's in a zone. He's going to shoot it every time.
Latrell Wrightsell Jr. And the foul going for the rebound will stay at this end, says Mike Reed. It's on Tobias Rodegaard, the freshman from Norway on Long Beach State.
Roxy, this shot from Slater, this is going up on the way there. You know right here, that shot's going up no matter what. They hit him in the shot pocket, great rhythm. That's just like shoot around this morning, getting up shots.
E.J. Anosike a 1-1. As Cal State Fullerton in the bonus. One more coming. We'll cap off Champ Week tomorrow. 2 more championship games on ESPN or the app. The SEC title at 1 Eastern, Texas A&M Buzz Williams. And the Aggies crashing the party. They'll take on Tennessee. And then the final automatic tourney ticket. We punch the winner of the Air Force Reserve American Championship game between Memphis and Houston. Offensive foul on Colin Slater. That's his second foul. That's a way to slow him down. Get fouls on him.
Get fouls on him and go at him on defense. Right here, you'll not see this happen a lot. Slater leaves his feet. Beautiful play by Wrightsell to stand in there, sacrifice his body, and get the turnover. Fouls could be an issue. You know, Long Beach State as a team has only committed 6 fouls. 5 of them have been on E.J. Anosike. They are guarding him collectively as a team.
Shot clock at 10. Damari Milstead. Got it. Second 3 for Milstead.
And that's some good-looking offense right there, finally, from Cal State Fullerton. Inside out, you got E.J. Anosike posting up, but you've got to relieve the pressure with the outside jumper.
Opportunity here for Cal State Fullerton now that Slater's got 2 fouls and on the bench.
No question, because right now Murray's got to step up and provide the offensive spark, and if he can't, you've got a chance to make a run. Beautiful trap, late in the possession, you got to defend without fouling.
Drew Cobb. Tobias Rodegaard launching in an air ball, shot clock violation.
You see the difference with Slater off the floor, raggedy possession right there by the beach.
Heated Southern California rivals going at it for the Big West Championship in Nevada. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. And Outrigger Hotels and Resorts, where local culture meets world-class hospitality. 29-20, Long Beach State leading Cal State Fullerton in the Big West Championship in Henderson, Nevada with Corey Williams and our ESPN crew. Roxy Bernstein with you. These tickets have been punched, including New Mexico State, just over at the Orleans Arena in Vegas. Congratulations to Chris Jans and the Aggies. And some connections to our coaches have already clinched spots. Boise State, Leon Rice, they won a championship. He and Dan Munson go back a long way, work together. And then on the other side, Dedrick Taylor's former assistant, Danny Sprinkle, who's the head coach at Montana State. And he takes Montana State as the Big Sky Conference champions to the Big Dance. Congratulations to Danny.
You know, Rox, we've been in the business a minute. We know these coaches keep tabs on each other. Text message, congratulations, all pulling for each other to have success. When you work with a guy and he moves on, those ties still remain.
I guarantee you Danny Sprinkle's watching this, and I guarantee you Leon Rice is watching this right now. And that great coaching tree that Dan Munson has. Of course, he was at Gonzaga, then left the Zags to take over in the Big Ten at Minnesota. And yep, Mark Few worked under Dan Munson. Then when Dan left, Mark Few took over the Zags program. There is Leon Rice on that list. I didn't necessarily work with Tommy Lloyd, but certainly has the connection with Tommy. And the Wildcats just winning the Pac-12 tournament championship minus Kirk Kriisa, just down the road at T-Mobile Arena over UCLA.
Gutsy win by Arizona in what they call McHale North, with the fans almost like a home game. But UCLA played a great game, was up as many as 9 or maybe even 10 at some point, but Arizona came roaring back. And when you look at UCLA, they're just as good as they were last year. Have the chance to also make it right back to the Final Four. But as far as our colleague Mr. Farnham is concerned, tonight belongs to me. So he can wait.
Angry text from Sean coming in 3, 2, 1. To the basket, 9 in a row for Cal State Fullerton. Here come the Titans.
And it all starts because they're patient, getting fouled, making free throws, getting stops, and in transition, Trey Maddox Jr., no breaks, all the way to the rim with the finger roll. Got a great one.
Great sign for Long Beach State. Here comes Abubakar Traore back toward the bench after taking that hard fall. He's got a wrap around his lower back. And he's standing over in the corner near the Long Beach State bench. We'll hopefully get an update on his availability for Dan Munson. But it's a 9-0 run for Dedrick Taylor's Cal State Fullerton Titans. And a steal for Damari Milstead. Taken right back by Joel Murray out of bounds.
They're going to have to go
Stay
to the
at
monitors.
this end in disbelief, Damari Milstead.
Great job defensively to poke it away, but Murray stays with it and gets the ball back. Blind side. I'm not sure who touched that last, but the officials give the ball to the beach.
Colin Slater comes back with the 2 fouls. And a 5-second call, turnover. Difficult spot to throw the ball in bounds from, and Long Beach State gives it right back.
Yeah, you've only got one option, which is to throw the ball out towards half court. And they did a great job of guarding people that way.
Now, a substitution, Colin Slater can't go out of the game because no time went off the clock. Now, Dan Munson trying to sub offense for defense. And Mike Cypher's over at the table, summoning Mike Reed, working with Tommy Nunez. But time has to tick off for that player to come out. And that's what Mike Cyphers is telling Mike Reed right now. So no time went off the clock, and Dan Munson wanted to sub Colin Slater out, not want him to get a 3rd foul. So Ramel Mansell has to head back off the floor, and Colin Slater has to return to the floor because, again, it was a dead ball turnover and no time went off the clock.
Yeah, and you got a top-notch crew right now. They're on top of everything. Getting the call right. Coach Munson obviously wanting to get some rest for his star guard over the last couple minutes here in the first half. But more importantly, for Cal State Fullerton, We talk about them being in the bonus now, and the reason why, E.J. Anosike has been fouled 6 times. He is relentless, he's physical, he's drawn 6 fouls that have them in a situation now where all contact will result in free throws.
E.J. Anosike attacks, and the lead is down to 3.
And that's how you get him involved. Not the one-on-one. Long Beach State is ready for that. Do your own thing and then hit the big man as he's moving, and he'll deliver.
11 in a row for Cal State Fullerton. Joel Murray, way off balance. Jordan Roberts cleans it up.
Fortunate bounce right there for the Beach. Roberts playing a great first half.
Crowd thought it was a travel, but he came to a jump stop. Trey Maddox, nice move in the basket, and 1 for Trey Maddox Jr.
Boy, he has been the spark plug for Cal State Fullerton, coming in the game unafraid, championship on the line from the bench. This is what you want. You know you got your big man eating up space, so when you beat the defender, it's just a layup drill. Right now, Fullerton taking full advantage of the fact that E.J. Anosike draws so much attention. We talked about it earlier, how other guys are going to have to step up, and that's what's going on right now.
Foul on Jadon Jones, his first. And Trey Maddox Jr., a transfer from Oakland. Last year was second team All-Big West. Coming off the bench this year after starting early in the season. And the three-point play, Maddox has 8 off the bench, and from 14 down, it's only a 2-point game.
Roxy, you can imagine the feeling. You fought all season to get here. Don't stand around and watch. Make something happen, and there's another turnover.
Trey Maddox Jr. Cal State Fullerton has the lead.
Latrell Wrightsell Jr. saw him the whole way. He knew he was going to give the pitch back to his boy, and he hooked it up. And now it is the Titans with all the energy. Their fans waving the towels on their feet.
17-2 run. And a whistle off the ball. And Mike Cyphers pointing at one player on each team.
It is Jones and Wrightsell.
So double technicals, I think, for yapping a little bit too much.
And this is stretching back to the previous play before the 3. Wrightsell made the assist and then was clapping in the face of Jones, and they were barking back and forth, and they were given a warning, but they didn't knock it off, and now they've each earned a technical foul.
So double technicals have been handed out here. Jadon Jones gets one. It's also a personal, so his second foul. And there's no shots because of the matching technicals.
But if I'm Dedrick Taylor, I'm okay with all of this right now. The Titans showing some life, a little swag. Wrightsell is awake. Everybody's playing great basketball, and they've come back to take the lead after being dominated in the opening minutes by Long Beach State.
Colin Slater, off balance, closed out by Torrey San Antonio. Long Beach State had a 14-point lead, but Cal State Fullerton closing the first half on a 17-2 run, fueled by Trey Maddox Jr.
This is what championship teams do. They answer the call. It doesn't matter what happens, but it's Cal State Fullerton. The penetration, the kick, and the stick from the logo. The Titans have all the momentum here as they're trying to make a play for a championship and an NCAA title berth.
We'll head to the studio with Zubin and Sean Farnham after the break. Cal State Fullerton by 1. Hercules Tires Big West Championship. As part of Champ Week presented by Principal, getting ready to start the second half in the Las Vegas suburb of Henderson. And a late surge by Cal State Fullerton. They ended the first half on a 17-2 run, up 1. on the regular season champs Long Beach State at the half. Along with Corey Williams and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. The first 15 minutes or so dominated by Long Beach State, but all of a sudden, Cal State Fullerton, the last 4:35, 17-2 to close the half. They lead it by 1.
Fullerton did everything they could to make sure that Long Beach State couldn't pull away, but they came out with guns blazing, knocking down shots. It looked like they were going to run away from this early in the game.
And they were well in control of this one. It was Long Beach State out of the gates. Both Colin Slater and Joel Murray were on.
Well, Long Beach State only has 3 players in the scoring column, and these are 2 of them dropping bombs in the first half, getting the crowd going, getting that momentum. Both Slater and Murray unstoppable, getting buckets. This was the run that really looked like they were going to put the Titans away.
But on the other side, Trey Maddox Jr., a real spark off the bench for Cal State Fullerton.
He came in, he was aggressive, takes to the bucket, big threes, and none bigger than this pitch back and the dagger as the half closed. Trey Maddox Jr. lighting a fire, getting his teammates not only back in the game, but in the lead by 1. Big time plays for the Titans.
Our first half summary. And when Colin Slater picked up his second foul, it was in the middle of the early part of that run by Cal State Fullerton. It was 15-2, the run with Slater picking up foul number 2. That's when Cal State Fullerton really took off. And Trey Maddox, scoreless last night in the semifinals against Hawaii, 11 off the bench to lead Cal State Fullerton.
It's about being prepared when opportunity appears. That young man has taken full advantage. Championship opportunity to try to help his team secure a title here in the Big West.
Cal State Fullerton trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018. For Long Beach State, it's been 10 years, 2012, the last time they were in the Big Dance. Vincent Lee spinning underneath. Offensive foul and a charge called on Cal State Fullerton and Latrell Wrightsell Jr. Second foul on Wrightsell. The turnovers were a problem. That's 10 turnovers now for Cal State Fullerton tonight in the first half. Long Beach State was taking care of the ball early, but they also have 10 turnovers. But Cal State Fullerton shot 52% in the first half and 4 of 10 on threes.
And they're a team where possessions mean everything. They love to get defensive stops. And Coach Dedrick Taylor knows if they take care of the ball, they can beat anyone in this league.
Colin Slater.
But it's just nothing like a talented player with confidence. His confidence is through the roof. He's shooting that shot as the ball's coming to him. He's already in the shooting motion.
Offensive foul.
Great play right here. You're running a little curl move for your best shooter, and that's just a one dribble pull-up in your face. Colin Slater knows he has to pick it up, and over here, Long Beach State has done this all game. Position defense, packing it in, making life difficult, forcing the outside shot.
Good to see Abubakar Traore out there, the freshman for the Ivory Coast. You can see he's hobbling a little bit, but he drew that charge and took that hard fall in the first half.
Yeah, it's amazing. He gets beat up on defense, and then he just keeps surrendering his body, getting extra possessions, and that man knows what to do with them.
19 for Colin Slater, career high 30 last night in the semis against UC Santa Barbara.
You know, he kind of waited a little bit in the second half to flip the switch and start getting buckets, but he's wasting no time establishing himself here in the second half. He knows the Titans made a run, they've got confidence. He wants to see if he can get that 10-point lead back again.
Damari Milstead, 3.
Well, you have to know where he is. Poor defense right there by Long Beach State. How do you leave him open on the arc? He's going to make you pay every time.
The drop off to Traore. They whip it around. Joel Murray, 3.
Beautiful basketball on both ends of the court. It all starts with Slater taking the ball to the rim, creating the rotation. Great unselfish play.
Second 3 for Murray, as Murray and Slater have combined to make 6 outside the arc. Milstead again.
Big shot, no pressure. Shot clock was winding down. He had to get it up, and it's nothing but bottoms as Fullerton showing all kinds of life on the offensive end right now. It's been plays like this. The heating started to heat up here. Guys knocking down shots at both ends. Unselfish play. Shot clock winding down, no problem. We got a 1-point game.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. 39-38 Long Beach State. During the break, they reviewed a 3 that was initially ruled to Colin Slater, changed it to a 2. That's why it's a 1-point lead. And the latest from the bracketologists, king of bracketology, Joe Lunardi. The last 4 in, and Texas A&M, the last team in, as of right now. Of course, they still have the SEC championship to play where they could get the automatic bid. SMU, the first team out of the field, according to Joey Brackets. By the way, I saw Joe here on Monday night. He was here for the West Coast Conference. You ready for the biggest upset?
Yes.
It was Joe Lunardi's first trip to Las Vegas.
Get out of here.
I'm not lying. I was shocked also.
Well, you think about it, it's called Sin City, and we know Joe to be one of the most ethical stand-up guys around. Makes sense that he's avoided it all these years.
Unlike us who come
religiously
a year.
Exactly.
Spins out for Damari Milstead, and we're going the other way. Heated Southern California rivals meeting in this Big West Championship. The first time under the Big West name for the Titans and the Beach to meet for the Conference Tournament Championship. They met in the old PCAA back in 1978 when Fullerton won that. Jordan Roberts, 3!
Boy, his game is so deceptive. Is he a big man? Is he a guard? He's knocked down 3 jumpers tonight with a couple of layups. That's a luxury when you got a 5-man that can step out and drill the 3.
And this is the biggest matchup between these two schools, Cal State Fullerton and Long Beach State, in any sport since the Super Regionals in 2017. Those were intense baseball games where Cal State Fullerton won that Super Regional at Blair Field in Long Beach, 2 out of 3. And if you think they dislike each other on the basketball floor, you got to see it on the baseball diamond.
Intense rivalries, you know. Somebody wants to take home the hardware tonight. Nobody's going to let up.
Long Beach State on the baseball diamond, known as the Dirtbags. The Beach and the Titans. NCAA tournament on the line here tonight in Henderson. Our NBA Sunday Showcase doubleheader on ABC starts in Brooklyn. KD and the Nets hosting the Knicks at 1 Eastern. Then Luka and the Mavs play the second game of their 5-game roadie against Jaylen Brown and the Red Hot Celtics. NBA Sunday night matchup on ESPN, the Apple LeBron, the Lakers in Phoenix to take on Devin Booker and the Western Conference leading Suns. Our coverage begins at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. All games on the app. EJ Anosicki, now 5 for 7 from the line. 9 points for Anosicki and 4 rebounds. A couple of steals tonight. Missed both, and the rebound falls to Jordan Roberts for the Beach.
And you see the frustration growing. He's a guy who likes to get buckets. He's 2 of 2 for the times he's attempted shots, but been fouled 7 times.
And normally a great foul shooting team, Cal State Fullerton, 76.5%. They're 23rd in the country in free throw shooting. But they just left 2 points at the line.
Yeah, and it's going to be a battle of wills. Will he get tired of being fouled?
Off the leg of Slater, Cal State Fullerton ball.
I don't think EJ Anosicki's going to change his game at all tonight. I think he's going to continue to let them foul.
And he's still got those awesome shoes on, those kicks, kick time. Latrell Wrightsell Jr., the kick out. Open is Damari Milstead. 1-point game. 17 for Milstead. He has had a great tournament.
Been a matter of time, but the Titans have figured out some offensive productivity. Penetrate and kick. Don't over-penetrate and pick up the charge, but they're doing a good job of beating the defender and then giving the ball up.
Drew Cobb for the weak side. Jadon Jones for the Beach.
Little hero ball right there. Jadon Jones comes flying in, making a big play and flexing.
His first points of the night.
Little zone action right here by Long Beach State. See if the Titans can create an open shot. Coach Dedrick Taylor trying to orchestrate the offense.
Latrell Wrightsell Jr. rattles in a three, his first points tonight, and we are tied.
And I've seen games where he's hit multiple threes. He is a shooter. Do not sleep on him.
Trey Maddox Jr. skies for the rebound, and Cal State Fullerton has it. Inside 14 minutes to play.
Trey Maddox Jr. giving some big minutes off the bench. See the confidence growing. Go behind the back, draws the foul.
Third on Jadon Jones. I think he disagreed with the call.
I think they all do. They all do. This is a high leverage moment tonight.
I could be misinterpreting that, but I don't think I am.
No, I'm going to go with you on that one.
So he'll sit with the three fouls. Trey Maddox Jr. Torrey San Antonio wide open. His first points tonight. Not known as a shooter, but he stepped up right there.
They have found the secret to this defense. Penetrate and kick. It looks like the same play over and over again. Guys recognizing where their teammates are and making huge shots.
Largest lead of the night for the Titans. Cal State Fullerton is 9 for 15 from three. Joel Murray gliding in.
Well, he's such a sensational player. I would have said that's a silencer, but there's no silencing any of these fans tonight. Both fans equally invested in this game.
Loose ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Colin Slater belongs to Cal State Fullerton.
You talk about playing at a high level. Nothing is more exciting than a good bench reaction. Check out the players. They can't believe it. They're falling out. This is what we want. 3-ball. They're excited.
Somebody's got to check on Ibrahim Famuke Doumbia. Rattles in. Jalen Harris.
Oh, they
10 threes.
They got this on replay, Roxy. Penetrate, kick, and stick. That's 3 times in a row. The same soup, just reheated for Cal State Fullerton. And Long Beach State has to get a timeout and talk about it.
Cal State Fullerton is 10 for 16 from distance tonight. 30-second timeout for the Beach. Cal State Fullerton trailing by as many as 14 in the first half. Closed the first half on a 17-2 run. Now they've made 4 of their last 5 shots. The Titans are 10 for 16 from 3 and up 4, their largest lead of the night over Long Beach State.
You know, Roxy, they always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But now Long Beach State really has to evaluate how they're defending E.J. Anosike. Do they start to play him one-on-one and get after some of these shooters? Because Fullerton has a lot of momentum.
Tobias Rodegaard, a 3. Back and forth we go.
And people don't realize how hard that is. He comes in off the bench, ice cold, and the coach calls his number, and he knocks it down.
Is this Nadal and Federer? I mean, our heads are just whipping back and forth here. Stumbling in an offensive foul on Jalen Harris of Cal State Fullerton.
Boy, this is what you need, a young man that's going to move his feet, Resist the temptation of reaching for the ball. Just move your feet and make the play. A little bit of acting right there, but enough contact to draw the foul.
Inside 12 minutes. These teams are playing like there's a lot on the line because there is a lot on the line. Joel Murray, Long Beach State seesaws in front.
Boy, outstanding. He takes away a possession by drawing the charge, and then he calls his own number at the other end and knocks down a nice mid-range jumper.
Both teams over 50% from the floor in this one. This is a high-level basketball game with an NCAA tournament berth on the line in the Big West Championship. Torrey San Antonio the miss and a foul going for the rebound, and Joel Murray can't believe it.
Well, he better believe it because he was holding on for dear life. E.J. Anosike is a monster on the glass, and the officials caught him with the tug.
Second on Murray. 1 point game, 11-14 remaining in Henderson.
In a game that was dominated early by the sharp shooting of Long Beach State, it is now the Titans dialing it in from long distance here in the second half. They've got it on lock and they got it on replay. The penetration, the kick, and the stick. It has been happening for the Titans, and they have roared back in this game to make it a one-point affair. You talk about the turning of the tide and momentum. Cal State Fullerton, we know about the inside attack of E.J. Anosike, but it's been the perimeter shooting of his supporting cast that's getting it done right now.
Are we allowed to have this much fun? Oh, of course we are. We're in Vegas.
Exactly.
Well, we're in Henderson, technically. Colin Slater pulls it down for the Beach. We've had tickets punched already here in the Vegas area. Gonzaga won the WCC. Boise State winning the Mountain West. Earlier tonight, Arizona won the Pac-12. New Mexico State won the WAC. Who's going to win this one? Jadon Jones puts Long Beach State up 4.
With so much drama in the LBC, Jones with a reminiscent 3 from last night.
I see what you did.
Well, you know, I know you're a 90s hip-hop guy. I know that.
Strong lay-in by Jalen Harris, the big man, or the Big West Sixth Man of the Year.
We gotta get some defense eventually. What happened to the defense?
And these are two defensive-minded head coaches. That's what's ironic about this game. Now, how much of it do you think Corey is third game in 3 days?
Absolutely. You know, you're talking about fatigue, and at this point, guys are just playing off emotion and adrenaline, and you're just hoping we have more at the end when it's all over.
And a foul and a block is called, and it's on Jordan Roberts of Cal State, of Long Beach State. Second foul on Roberts.
You know, the greatest coaches in the country will tell you, we can draw it up, we can practice, we can scheme, but at the end of the day, I need my guys to just go get it, make it happen. And I think both coaches are relying on the talented players they have to just make play after play down the stretch. They're obviously going to coach, but I don't know that coach will have a whole lot to do. It seems like this is a battle of wills.
Quick dart to the basket, but Maddox misses. Cleaned up by E.J. Anosike.
He hasn't left the lane all night long. He's been fouled. He's been double teamed, and right there cleans up the offensive rebound.
Jordan Roberts. And the rebound, tipping it and grabbing it is Latrell Wrightsell Jr. Damari Milstead in the key. And there is E.J. Anosike. Denied, foul.
And you see the Titan bench up applauding the effort. E.J. Anosike has been camping out in the lane. That's his second offensive rebound in a row. They're going to have to get a body on him. It's not just going to be one. It's going to have to be 2 or 3, given his size and his strength.
Fourth foul on Abubakar Traore, as E.J. Anosike gives Cal State Fullerton the lead. Selection Sunday, we got you covered. Bracketology starts at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on ESPN with Reese and the guys breaking down the NCAA men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced on ESPN and ESPN2. It's our March Madness women's selection show. We reveal the 68 teams. Yes, 68 now for the first time. And look at every team and matchup in each region with continuing coverage on ESPN2 and at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, even more coverage of both brackets. As always, you can stream everything on ESPN app.
Another putback by guess who? E.J. Anosike, third offensive rebound in a row, making his presence felt, picks up the foul right there. But we talked about, would he slow down or would he stay aggressive? Right now, his teammates getting to the rim, getting to the lane, and he's just cleaning everything up.
Just over 8.5 minutes. 7 straight for Cal State Fullerton. And a 3-point lead for the Titans.
You know, it's a simple rule in college basketball. You cannot rebound if you're getting beat defensively. Guys have to rotate, and you're always going to have an odd man on the glass.
Way off from Joel Murray, but the offensive rebound, Drew Cobb. Maybe got away with a travel, and Murray lays it in.
No maybe about it. He shuffled his feet, got away with it. But the Beach able to get the bucket.
Game high 19 for Joel Murray. Damari Milstead leads Cal State Fullerton with 17.
You know, Roxy, I'm just amazed at how this has changed. I mean, in the opening minutes, the Beach was knocking down threes, staring people down. It looked like they were going to be off to the races. And now it's Fullerton applying the pressure.
Back and forth we go. Colin Slater. Pocket pick. Damari Milstead knocked it away. Ahead for E.J. Anosike.
The beautiful no-look cross-court pass from Maddox Jr. on the dime.
Joel Murray tied up, stays with Long Beach State. 7:12 to go. Cal State Fullerton up 3.
So much pressure. You see the turnover. Watch the beautiful no-look zip line to his boy in traffic for the easy bucket. It is a game going on here in Henderson.
Cal State Fullerton 59, Long Beach State 56, the top 2 seeds at the Big West Tournament meeting in the championship game. And E.J. Anosike, his presence is being felt.
After a slow start, it's like Novocaine. Just give it time. It always works. E.J. Anosike making a living in the paint, cleaning up the miscues, being a force, the putbacks, drawing the fouls. And right here, look at the big man out on the wing, handling the ball, no travel, finesse, and the layup. He's come alive here because he stayed consistent. He was being double teamed all night. You knew it was just a matter of time before he'd get some opportunities.
E.J. Anosike, as it's knocked away by Torrey San Antonio. And it stays here at this end of the floor.
This possession has Slater written all over it. Only 10 seconds to go here.
Joel Murray, 5 to shoot. Here he goes, stumbles, double clutches, shot clock violation, that's a turnover.
Great defense right there, couldn't shake the defender. Had to force up a bad shot.
Again, the pressure from the beach.
The Titans struggled with this early, had some silly turnovers in the first half. They cannot afford to turn it over against that pressure here now in the final minutes.
Off balance. And the rebound, here comes Joel Murray. But 1-on-4, he'll slow it up. Colin Slater turns the corner, lost it out of bounds, and it goes right back to the Titans.
And Slater can't believe it because he knew what he had. He had a nice drop off for an easy layup to his big man, but he lost the handle. Well, he'd really like to have that one back.
Ten to shoot. Jalen Harris. 3!
It's like he heard you. The urgency. They are getting buckets from everyone in the lineup. This is not the same team from just a night ago.
Largest lead of the night for Cal State Fullerton. As Jadon Jones going down shooting a 3, picked up by Torrey San Antonio.
They've got numbers.
Behind the defense, Jalen Harris. Followed E.J. Anisicki.
You talk about big plays, high leverage moments. This is what you want from your star player. We talked about him on the glass. It comes off. SportsCenter top 10, the baptism. E.J. Anisicki. You got to put a body on somebody. Slater has no chance. The rim rock, the scream. He's been fighting all game long to get loose, and he's finally starting to get loose here in the second half, Rocks.
One more look at E.J. Anisicki.
Well, you can see the frustration on his face, but the hunger, the fight, it's all on the line. Championship week. 5:29 left in the season, and we're seeing it all from everybody.
E.J. Anisicki is thinking about a residency here in Vegas after that. He might check in with Garth. Who else? Shania Twain had a residency, Celine Dion.
He'll be here all week, folks, all week. What a performance. And we talked about him hardly having any impact in the first half, the aggressive double teams. Long Beach State has done everything they can to keep him out of this game, but he will not be denied.
Long Beach State has spurt ability, and they need one now. Jadon Jones. The kick out. On the reload, Colin Slater.
And that's what the player of the year looks like. Calm, cool, collected. The deflection, it could be a back-to-back.
Joel Murray, the offensive rebound. And a foul on Trey Maddox Jr., number 3.
Big offensive rebound, extra possession for Long Beach State. They've got to make up some ground here over the last 4.5 minutes.
Team foul number 5 on the Titans. Colin Slater. Tough fadeaway on the baseline, and he's fouled. That's the 4th on Trey Maddox Jr.
And we saw Slater hit that step back last night. Normally he can blow by the defender, but great job defensively by Trey Maddox Jr., but he got a piece of him on the jumper.
Slater is an 84% free throw shooter. A grad transfer. Or actually just the transfer from New Orleans and Tulane. The Big West Player of the Year has come alive in this tournament. Career high 30 last night, now with 22. And Slater, an interesting story as Vincent Lee comes back, as he opted out last year in the COVID year during the fall semester, but then he returned for the spring. Played in only 9 games last year and had to sit out earlier in his career when he transferred from Tulane. Played 60 games over 2 years at Tulane. And flourishing this year under Dan Munson in the Conference Player of the Year, and he pulls the beach to within 3.
And make no doubt about it, Roxy, this game will hinge on the play of Slater and Murray down the stretch. They are the guards that are going to have to make everything happen. Not saying they have to shoot, but they have to defend and create.
Damari Milstead way off, and Abubakar Traore gets it. And here comes the beach.
And that was the first bad possession for the Titans in quite a while.
And a foul on the floor. E.J. Anasicki whistled for number 3. A 1-and-1 as that puts Long Beach State into the bonus. One more look at it.
It is a battle of wills, and there you see the intensity. E.J. Anasicki.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride in our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. 64-61, Cal State Fullerton, 3:44 to go. We'll cap off Champ Week tomorrow. 2 more championship games on ESPN and the app. The SEC title, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Texas A&M and Tennessee, the 8th seed against the Vols. And then we head to the Air Force Reserve American Conference Championship, Memphis and Houston. Remember, set your clocks forward in most time zones.
Not me.
Well, you have to here in Las Vegas, but
Arizona?
If you do live in Arizona, you can keep it where it's at. And for our friends over in the islands, too. Jordan Roberts, 1-and-1. Long Beach State now in the bonus.
Hey, Roberts is having a great game, 12-7. Consistent, made big plays.
Played more games in a Long Beach State uniform than anyone. Tonight, career game number 137 for Jordan Roberts, the senior from Bakersfield. And he pulls the beach within 1.
A little bit of a momentum shift here. The Beach able to get to the free throw line, get stops. See if the Titans can keep that intensity, that aggression offensively, as they barely got it over the line.
Just beat the 10 count. And now settle into the half court. E.J. Anasicki off the lob, underneath. And a foul. Cal State Fullerton wants a goaltend. The officials looking at one another, they're discussing this.
Oh, this is going to be tough because from the first look, it does look like a goaltend. That ball's kind of still on its way up.
Yeah, that's not a goaltend.
It's a heck of a play from your defensive second line. The ball's still on its way up, and he gets it.
But it's a foul. And 2 shots for E.J. Anasicki, 6 for 10 from the line.
And you can see for the Titans who they want on the trigger down the stretch. They make a great play, get it to Anasicki one-on-one. Actually, it's 1-on-2 in the paint. And you know at the other end, offensively, for the Beach, it'll be Mr. Slater And Mr. Murray trying to make things happen out front.
Fourth foul on Jadon Jones. 20 now for E.J. Anosicki. To lead Cal State Fullerton, 23 for Colin Slater, lead all scorers for Long Beach State.
This is a mismatch out front.
Drop off. Fumbled, recovered by Abubakar Traore. Has to kick it out. And another shot clock violation on Long Beach State.
The defense of Torrey San Antonio rocks. He's been doing it all night. No question here. Shot clock winding down. You've got to guard the Conference Player of the Year. You close out, keep your hands up, and they're able to force the turnover. That's outstanding defense in crunch time.
Again, stuff that doesn't show up on the box score. But last night, Torrey San Antonio was a plus 20 in the semis. As wide open for a layup, Trey Maddox Jr.
You beat the pressure. Sometimes you don't back it out. You take what the defense gives you right there. The Titans aggressive with the quick basket. They got a 5-point lead. 2 minutes to go.
Trey Maddox Jr.'s first points of the second half. He had 11 to lead Cal State Fullerton at halftime. Joel Murray drives. Tough shot from Murray.
Oh, a lot of contact there, but no call. Murray with an unbelievable finish in the lane. Lots of contact.
The hustle by Abubakar Traore. Almost knocked our table over.
Young man trying to get into show business.
I didn't know he wanted your job that bad. Believe me, I'm not that fun to sit next to.
Late in the possession.
And a foul on Long Beach State, pushing off, going for the rebound.
Boy, this is a tough call for a lot of reasons. You play great defense, and right here, E.J. Anosicki, you can't box him out. They're just draped all over him, and he has enough common sense to just jump up for the ball and yell, and the officials reward him with the foul. He is the hardest working man on the West Coast tonight.
1-and-1. Third on Jordan Roberts. Cal State Fullerton by 5. Joel Murray, timeout Beach.
And we knew it was a question of Slater and Murray, and there you see the best combination in Vegas since, what, Sammy Davis and Dean Martin? Beautiful connection between the two guards out front. This is what you want. You want your best player with the rock in his hand. He spins, takes the vision, and Murray with the knockdown. These two gentlemen have been outstanding tonight. Great guard play down the stretch.
Stacey Augmon and Larry Johnson weren't bad in this town.
That's true. That's another good duo. We could go all night.
Craig Anthony's going, hey, what about me?
Yeah, Vegas duos. There's a lot of them.
70-68 Cal State Fullerton. A minute 22 to go, and Joel Murray with an enormous three. 11 threes for Long Beach State, 11 threes for Cal State Fullerton. Long Beach State jumped out to a 14-point lead. Then Cal State Fullerton came roaring back, and it's been back and forth ever since. This has been a high-level, fun championship game in the Big West, and drama between two long, bitter rivals going at it.
And you certainly don't want to dig a hole that you can't climb out of, so you want to stay close, and both teams have done that. There's been lead changes, momentum swings, big plays on both ends, but you can see the fight in both clubs not being able to close the other one out.
That was the last time out for Dan Munson in Long Beach State. How does that affect them the rest of the way?
It would be bad for them if they didn't have such a sensational set of guards, because your guards recognize time and score. You can motion to them and they can get the team into sets. That leadership helps you in a situation where you don't have timeouts. When you got great guards, you can communicate and still coach through them.
Dedrick Taylor still has a 30 and a full timeout, and the pressure from Long Beach State. Jadon Jones, 4 fouls. Abubakar Traore playing with 4 for Long Beach State. While Trey Maddox Jr. has 4 for Cal State Fullerton.
And the way the clock is set up right now, Long Beach State may end up with 2 possessions to just 1 for the Titans.
Stepping in, and it's 2 for Latrell Wrightsell Jr.
It looks so easy, but there was so much riding on that shot. Latrell Wrightsell Jr. with a beautiful finish, and there's the turnover.
Out of bounds, trying to save it, Torrey San Antonio, and it stays with Long Beach State.
You know, you pass up the wide open 3 to settle for a 15-footer, but all the pressure in the world is on you right there. No backboard, gotta swish it, big time shot.
Dan Munson talking to the officiating crew. There's Mike Reed. And I believe Mike Cyphers has gone to the monitor just to check the clock and make sure the time is correct.
Yeah, Long Beach State very fortunate right there. Slater tried to split the double team and lost the ball. And for a moment, it looked like the Titans would have possession up 4. But instead, Long Beach will keep the ball and have a chance to cut into this lead.
So they are checking the clock to make sure. It's clear the ball was off Torrey San Antonio. That's not what they're looking at. Again, they're trying to make sure the clock is correct. Right now showing 47.3. And Cal State Fullerton a 4-point lead. And for Long Beach State, I got to imagine Dan Munson, Corey, wants to go quick, trying to get a quick 2, because he knows if he does that, he'll have time to try to get a defensive stop instead of having to foul and put an outstanding foul shooting team at the free throw line.
No question about it. You want the quick 2. Better yet, you want to draw the quick foul, because your chances of making both free throws might be a little bit better than your chances of making a contested 2-pointer. So whatever they've drawn up is hopefully something to the rim if you're Long Beach State, because a quick foul would be the greatest situation for you right now.
The clock was correct, and now Long Beach State puts it in.
They're not going to go quick.
Joel Murray fumbled it. Jadon Jones, 1-point game.
Again with the hero basketball from Jadon Jones. He hit the game winner, and right there, he brings it to a 1-point game with 36 seconds to go.
Deidre Taylor was calling timeout. Mike Reed, though, had a 5-second call and a turnover. I was waiting to make sure that was the call, because Damari Milstead tried to get the timeout, but not in time.
Roxy, that is a huge mistake for the Titans. You had the huge 3. Now you get a turnover, and they can take all the time they want to try to take the lead on this possession, and no doubt who they put the ball in the hands of right now.
Colin Slater goes baseline, and he threw it away. Timeout, Cal State Fullerton. No foul, there was a timeout, and Colin Slater gave it up.
I'm as shocked as you are. He has been so steady and sensational, and right there he tries to thread the needle on a baseline pass that had no chance of getting past all those Titan defenders. But for Long Beach State, you talk about hanging in there. They fumble the assist. They finally get it to their sharpshooter, and he drills the 3 to make this a 1-point game. And then right here, you see the vision, the rotation, and the weak pass that gets picked off, and the Titans are in business.
29.7 remaining. The shot clock will come off. Cal State Fullerton clinging to a 1-point lead. For the Titans, they're trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018. For Long Beach State, it's been 10 years, 2012, the last time that they went to the big dance. They're checking the clock one more time, just to make sure it's correct. And they had to get the shot clock also corrected because it showed 30, but Cal State Fullerton took possession. Now they've dropped that to 28. So a new 10-second count, by the way, in case you're wondering, for Cal State Fullerton to try to get it across.
These are situations where you just simply have to be strong with the ball.
And Damari Milstead has to stay stationary. He can't run the baseline.
You want to try to keep the ball out of the corners.
E.J. Anosicki, if you're going to foul, that's probably the guy you want to grab. And he steps through the double team, and he gets rid of it. Long Beach State missed their opportunity to foul, and now they foul Milstead, who's a 79% foul shooter. As Anosicki, on the year, he's a good foul shooter, but he's missed 4 free throws tonight. He's 10 for 14.
Yeah, you got to try to send him to the line. Between his missed free throws and possibly fatigue, you got your best chances, I would think, with E.J. Anosicki.
First trip to the line for Damari Milstead. 79% on the year. It's a 1-and-1. The 8th team foul on the beach. And he missed.
First trip to the line.
Out of timeouts. Joel Murray. Here's Colin Slater. 5 seconds. Trying to get a shot off. It's stripped. It's over. No shot for Long Beach State, and Cal State Fullerton has won. For the first time since 2018, the Big West Tournament champions are the Cal State Fullerton Titans, and they're going to the NCAA tournament.
Roxy, we talked about how Fullerton was a half-court, grinded-out defensive team, and there was no better fitting way for them to close this game out with an unbelievable defensive stance on that final possession. Everybody's in the bonus, all contact results in free throws, and they do a masterful job of rotating to the shooter. No one's fouling, and they finally, Wrightsell sticks his hand in there and knocks it free, and the rest is history. Beautiful defense down the stretch, playing one-on-one, rotating to the pass. This is what coaches coach every day in practice, and it pays off for the Titans as they lock it down in the final seconds.
Get the final stop. Don't allow Long Beach State to get a shot off. And from 14 down in the first half, Cal State Fullerton comes back behind outstanding three-point shooting. The Titans go 11 for 20 from outside the arc. They wind up shooting 52% for the night against a really good defensive team. And Dedrick Taylor's squad found a way. They were down 14. This one appeared over, Corey, but they stuck together, which hasn't always been the theme for Cal State Fullerton this season, but they found a way tonight.
That's a great way to put it. They certainly did find a way. They hung together. You talk about adversity. They were staring a 20-point butt whooping in the eye early on, and they fought back inch by inch. E.J. Anosicki pretty much invisible in the first half, monster second half, and they get the job done.
Led by the 22 from E.J. Anosicki, 17 from Damari Milstead. Cal State Fullerton is going dancing as they win the Big West Tournament Championship. For my partner, Corey Williams, and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein saying so long from Sin City.